Hey guys, it's Kelly here again and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my May bullet journal theme. First off, let's take a quick look through my April theme, which is here on my channel. There's a video, there's also printable PDFs, or no, JPEG, there's printables on Etsy. Again, information you can find in the video. I will leave it linked in the description down below or also in the cards. I went for my April theme with a New York inspired aesthetic, and I think it turned out really cool. This is one of my favorite ones. I created it digitally, and again, you have printables available for you on Etsy. So now let's jump into the May theme, which is actually Doctor Who inspired. And I gotta be completely honest, this was a roller coaster for me. This whole video was a mess trying to record it. Also, the amount of times that I messed something up is just insane. It's like I wasn't completely in the right mindset sitting down and recording this, which is ironic because I actually prepared weeks in advance, almost exactly after I finished my April theme and I uploaded the video. That's basically the time I started planning my May theme, just because I felt inspired, first of all, and also I saw that I don't have much left of my bullet journal and I don't have enough pages to finish the year. So I decided to do something more creative and try to incorporate and add some add-ons, some different pages, and use up as less space as I possibly can, just so I can see if I can finish this 2020 year in this bullet journal and I don't have to start a new one for just 2 months or something along those lines. That's basically when I had the idea to create a Doctor Who theme, because for those of you who know, the time machine spaceship that he travels around with is shaped like a phone booth, and you can see it right now on the screen. I drew it on my cover page, a tiny version in the lower right corner, but it's shaped like a police phone booth. And when each of the people that he travels with goes in, every time, it's like a running joke on the show, but every time they say, oh, it's bigger on the inside. So that's the idea that I had, to stick some pages in and make it open up, kind of like a pop-up book. So that's what I had as an idea at first. But unfortunately, no matter how much time you spend planning and how in advance you actually plan it out, when you sit down and start recording and start actually doing things, it does not always pan out the way that you planned. So I had to switch direction 3 or 4 times, and I had to basically start over twice, I think, and that was honestly very frustrating. I recorded this last night and I wasn't even sure if I was going to keep this theme, if I was going to upload it, but honestly, looking at it now, I'm pretty happy. I mean, it's not what I planned, but it's turned out kind of cute, and it has its charms, even though it's different than what I initially thought. So let's hope you guys enjoy this one, because as I said, had a roller coaster of emotions creating this one. Now, here right now, you're going to see where I made my very first mistake. So at first, the idea was to have these pages that open up and like a pop-up book, it'd be be white, from white paper, normal fax paper. And I was going to stick some pieces on and make it even bigger than it actually turned out. So I really was going for this big wow effect. You open up the barn doors, and you have this giant canvas and all of the trackers are there. But as I was doing this, I made my very first mistake, which was that I did not anticipate that where I stuck the pieces of paper together will actually get in the way of me coloring the pages on the front that are going to be blue and look like the doors to the TARDIS. Then I made my second mistake, where I wanted to create a different shape to the add-ons, and I wanted to cut the corners off of them, but I cut the wrong corners and I messed up the whole thing. So at this point I was like, okay, I'm using way too much white paper, I'm wasting it away, I am going to waste my marker ink trying to fill up the front of the pages as well. It's not gonna look that good. Might as well scrap it and start with something new. Then I discovered that I actually have some blue paper left from a weird sketchbook thingy with cardstock in it. And I thought that I would use these ones, but unfortunately I only had 3 pieces of this blue color, so I had absolutely no room for error. And I started working on this and I couldn't add more paper to make it even bigger. So I decided to just keep them with normal barn doors, no add-ons, just a A4 on one side and A4 on the other. But as I was working, I didn't like how the yellow squares that I put on to mimic the TARDIS were looking, so I tried to remove them before the glue dries, but the glue had already dried, so I had to... Well, you saw it on the screen. I ruined it, but it was okay. We're still venturing through because I can always flip the page and stick it on the other side, so that's what I did. Now I am working on the first side of the first basically part of my bullet journal, which is the overview part, which has a calendar. And this was a very simple design. I just used a white acrylic pen and I did a calendar. At least I have a lot of space. I also did a quote that I really like, which is 900 years of time and space, and I've never met anyone who wasn't important. And that's one of my favorite Doctor Who quotes. So as I was saying, the calendar turned out great because it's really big, and I usually struggle trying to fit all of my calendars just because I try to do it on a double page, and it's not, my bullet journal is an A5, so it's not, I don't have a lot of room. So having this double page and using it all up was really handy for me. And then I started working on the front, which was supposed to be one of the doors to the TARDIS, but I am an idiot and this is another mistake that I made, and I made the entire front look like the TARDIS door. So at first I was going to just write out police and then half of public call, and on the other side you have the rest of public call and box, and you have one yellow window on one side and one yellow window on the other blue side. But that didn't occur to me right this moment, and as you can see, I am making the entire door on just one piece of paper. And this is when I stuck it, is basically the part when I realized that, and I decided to just go with it and make the other side basically the same but just kind of a little different. So one side is the actual door to the TARDIS and the other side is kind of like the side door thingy. That's not a door, the side wall of the phone booth. I don't know. Like I said, this entire spread was a nightmare to create, not because it's really hard or really super original or something incredible to create, but because I was a complete idiot and my brain wasn't working all day long. So that's what quarantine can do. You need to go out, you need to get some fresh air, because sometimes your brain just farts off and you can't do anything. So on the other side, I started doing my habit tracker. And I think I also have my sleep tracker, mood tracker, to-do list, future log, books, and TV. So I was able to fit in as much as I possibly could. Like I said, I had plans for something completely different. They were supposed to look different, but at this point, I was like, just figure out a way to have them as trackers on the spread, in the spread, and just move along. So my sleep tracker is something that I think is cute. I made this little Dalek head, and I realized that Daleks look a lot like an R2-D2 when they don't have the little horns, because they have like little lamps like horns or ears or something, but I didn't want to create those because they would get in the way of my sleep tracker. And basically what I'm going to do is just fill out bars all throughout the like circle-y bit for every hour, for all the hours of sleep that I get on this day. And also with a white pen, then I will go with some dots, connected dots, and create my mood tracker. That was the idea. I guess you will see it in the next video when I show you the flip through of this one. And this is where I created another mistake. I glued the wrong side, so it wouldn't open from the inside out. They would both open the same way. And what I did here was I just let it dry. I scraped up as much of the glue as I possibly could. I scraped it off and then I let the rest dry, and I just stuck the other side the way it was supposed to be. And yeah, that's basically it. You can still tell from the front of it, you can still tell that there's glue on top of the page, but at this point I really didn't care, and I'm the only one who's gonna see it. If you decide to recreate this theme, pay attention. Don't be an idiot like me, just pay attention. And this is where I was figuring out where to add some book trackers and some TV trackers, and I just put little boxes here and there. It's not the most creative thing, but honestly I think the outside visual is kind of making up for it. You know, it's not exactly, as I said, it's not what I planned, but I guess maybe I can do it digitally the way I originally planned, because it did involve wallpapers, white paper, not wallpaper, white paper, so it was going to be, it's gonna be easy to recreate in digital theme, so I don't know, if I have the time, maybe I'll do that. But yeah, that's basically it for these trackers. Then I went into my last page, blue page that I had, and I couldn't do the doors again because I just had one page left. So I just cut them into in half and stuck them on either side just so I can keep the blue theme. One thing that I am very disappointed in myself for is that I didn't use a blue marker for the cover page where I have the quote, where I created the Doctor's silhouette and the TARDIS silhouette. I used black marker, and I think that was an oversight. I should have used the blue one. It would have turned out really great, but you live and you learn, and that's basically it. On this page, I wanted to do something, was it Gallifreyan language? The one with the circles and the very interesting elements. I wanted to do something similar, just as a idea or as a nod, so I filled up the page here with that. And this is my social media tracker and my expenses tracker, and here and there I can also write down some stuff which can be my brain dump. And that is basically it for this honestly nightmare of a theme. But I am happy, and it will be useful, and in the end this is a bullet journal, and that's what's important. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry about my negative Nelly ramblings. I promise the next one I'll pay more attention, I'll do it more carefully, more planned out. Hopefully next time I'll be better. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!